So you've probably heard this term Azure Cloud thrown around a lot, right? But what does it actually mean? Is it just for some giant tech companies, or is it something that could totally change your career? Well, over the next few minutes, we're going to break it all down. We're going to demystify Azure, what it is, what it does, and why it's one of the most important skills in tech today. Let's jump right in.
But first, to really get a handle on Azure, we have to take one step back and answer a much more basic question. So what even is the cloud? I mean, we use it every single day, right? For our emails, our photos, for streaming shows. But when we talk about it in the world of business and technology, it means something way, way bigger. At its heart, the cloud is really just a fancy way of saying you're using someone else's computers, which you access over the internet. Instead of a company having its own big, noisy, expensive server room in the office, they're just renting space and power from a massive, super secure data center somewhere else in the world. Simple as that.
Yeah, this slide just nails the difference. The old way was kind of like owning a DVD collection. You needed the physical disc, you needed the player, it was all right there with you. The cloud? That's Netflix. You just log in and boom, everything's there instantly. Businesses are now doing that exact same thing, but with their most important stuff, like their servers and software.
Okay, so the cloud is this huge worldwide network of data centers. But who actually runs them? Well, this is where the big names in tech come into play. And trust me, Microsoft's role in all this is absolutely gigantic. And Azure is Microsoft's answer to the cloud. It's this enormous, constantly growing collection of online services that lets companies build apps, store their data, and run their entire digital operation, all without ever having to own a single physical server. It's the whole shebang.
Now, of course, Microsoft isn't the only game in town. As you can see here, the cloud market is really dominated by three giants. You've got Amazon with its Amazon Web Services, or AWS. You've got Google with Google Cloud. And then, of course, you have Microsoft with Azure. These are the titans of the industry, for sure.
So we know who the major players are, but what can a platform like Azure actually do? This is where you start to see the real power of the cloud. Just think of Azure as a digital toolbox with hundreds of different tools inside. The most basic ones are these. You've got virtual machines, which are pretty much just powerful computers you rent in the cloud. You've got storage for keeping all your files and backups safe. Networking, which connects everything together securely. And powerful databases to organize tons of information, all of it protected by built-in security. And what's really incredible is the scale of it all. This technology isn't just for the big guys. A tiny startup working out of a garage can use the exact same powerful tools as a Fortune 500 company. Azure literally levels the playing field, giving any business, no matter the size, the foundation to build and grow on a global scale. Okay, this all sounds amazing for companies, but let's make this about you. Why should you personally care about Azure? How does this actually affect your career path? I mean, the story of today's job market is told right here on this chart. Sure, traditional IT jobs are still around, but the demand for general cloud skills, it's through the roof. But look even closer. The demand for people with specific Azure skills is even higher. Companies are literally scrambling to find people who know how to use this platform. So what's that mean for you? It means learning Azure can be a rocket ship for your career. Someone might start out in a regular IT support or networking job, but once they add Azure skills to their resume, they can jump into a specialized, much higher paying role like a cloud engineer. And the salary? It can grow a whole lot faster. All right, so a high-demand career sounds pretty good, but you're probably asking yourself, don't I have to be some kind of coding genius to do this? Let's just tackle that myth right now. This right here is probably the most important thing I can tell you. Let me say it again. You do not need to be a coding expert to learn Azure. Yeah, for some jobs, coding is helpful, but many of the most critical Azure roles are all about administration, networking, and security, not writing lines of code. So if you're already in IT support, or you're a network admin or a system admin, Azure is the absolute logical next step for you. And honestly, even if you're just starting out in IT, learning Azure can give you a massive head start from day one.
So if you walk away with just one sentence to remember, let it be this one. Azure is simply Microsoft's online platform that lets companies run their entire digital world, their servers, their apps, their data, safely and securely over the internet.
We covered the what, the why, and the who. The only question left, and it's the most important one, is what's your next move? The journey into the cloud can seem a little intimidating. but it always starts with that first step. So the real question isn't just how you get started, it's when. Thanks for watching.